Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of Record Collection, where each week I pick a record out of my collection, tell you why it's good and why you should have a listen. So before you buy the next record, we're going to check out this bad boy, Hoodoo Man Blues by Junior Wells. So stick around.
Record Collection! Woo!
Alright, so this week I wanted to talk to you about one of my favourite blues albums of all time, Junior Wells' Hoodoo Man Blues. Buddy Guy appears on this record as well, but when they originally recorded it, Buddy Guy was still with Chess Records and was allowed to play on the record, but he wasn't actually allowed to put his name on the record, so he was Friendly Chap on the original release. This is a newer release, it's got Buddy Guy on the front cover here. So this is Chicago blues at its best. It's an amazing album, and the good thing about this album is they really tried to capture that Chicago blues club scene in it. Delmark Records got Junior to record this album and gave him free rein pretty much. I mean, up until this time, blues artists were releasing, you know, their 3-minute songs on 45s that could get put into jukeboxes around town and get listened to, and to get more exposure, whereas Junior got the opportunity to just do what he wanted and capture that vibe in this album, and he totally does that. Like, it's an amazing thing to listen to. I mean, Buddy Guy does this amazing guitar, and then paired with Junior's harmonica playing, it's crazy, you know. So Junior himself had been around the traps for a while. I mean, he's in the army for a bit in the 50s, and then, you know, he played Muddy Waters. He took over from Little Walter with Muddy Waters when Little Walter went off to kind of capitalise on the fame of Duke. So I mean, he knew what he was doing, and this really just epitomises it. Like, this is an insane blues album, and definitely if you're in the market for a blues record, or even just a record for your collection that you want to listen to and enjoy, this is the one. I mean, it took me a little while to get this. I got a few other albums before I purchased this, and I really wish I had got this sooner. I mean, I had heard the album beforehand, but yeah, I mean, hearing this on vinyl it's amazing. I've got another album with Junior and Buddy, a live set that they did, just to compare the two. I mean, as I've said already, it really does capture that vibe of the Chicago blues club scene in the late 60s. And I mean, this influenced, you know, so many people, like Paul Butterfield, all those Chicago blues guys. I mean, it's insane to say that this is not an influential album. So this came out on Delmark Records, and, you know, they coined this as the first ever long play record of the blues, because, as I said previously, they were only releasing 45s. So, you know, up until then, it was just 45 singles that you could get. You know, you had Can't Be Satisfied and all those things on those tiny little records, and you get an A side and a B side, not full albums like this. And yeah, I mean, get your hands on it, have a listen. Super influential for me. I mean, I took a lot from this record, just from Buddy's playing. And I mean, you can hear Buddy's playing when you listen to Hendrix. Hendrix was a huge fan of Buddy Guy. And I mean, Buddy Guy had been around a long time too. He'd been playing with Big Mama Thornton and heaps of blues acts around the traps for years before he recorded this, and really honed his skills. And they've been playing the Chitlin Circle like all of them did. So yeah, definitely get your hands on this. You won't be making a mistake. You will be thanking me when you listen to this album. So standout tracks for this album for me, Snatch It Back and Hold It would have to be one of my favourite blues songs of all time. I actually do a version of it where I use my loop pedal and I get everything going, and I get that really nice riff going and everything like that. And but first time I heard Snatch It Back and Hold It, I was just like, whoa, what just happened? So this is track number 1 on this album, and as soon as you hear it, you'll listen to the whole thing. So Snatch It Back and Hold It. Good Morning Little Schoolgirls on here. Pretty common song to be recorded around the time, but they do a really good version of it on this album. And of course the title track, Hoodoo Man Blues. First time I heard that one was on a compilation album of Chicago blues artists when I was a real young fella, and yeah, I was just like, holy moly, what's going on here? So I would highly recommend purchasing this album or streaming it if you don't want to buy it, or just make sure your ears get in touch with it, because it's worth a listen. So that's Hoodoo Man Blues. Hope I've convinced you. As always, leave some comments down below, subscribe to the channel. I want to hear all about how this album's influenced you, or if you've never heard it before and you've listened to it after this, I want you to leave a comment for me. Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it. Yeah, let's start a conversation down in the comments about the album. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for listening. See ya.